Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. I'm Hardt Nevitalis.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. Now, for this week's news.
Our intro music was performed by Doug Armitage of Brightwood Music in Nederland.
This episode is brought to you by Hardt Tobacco, Backdoor Theater, Brightwood Music, Gold Dirt Distillery, Mountain Man Outdoor Store, and of course, the Mountaineer newspaper.
For our lead story today, we'll talk to Tim Underwood about the closing of the Mineshaft Mercantile in Rollinsville.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim Underwood, former Public Works Director, Town of Nederland, currently Mineshaft Mercantile operator. Yeah, I left the town employ in 2010, and, my stress level and income both took a nosedive, and my quality and joy of living skyrocketed. It's been a lot of fun, had a great, wonderful time interacting with all the locals and visitors alike, and it's been a whole heck of a lot of fun. But, I discovered that retail is kind of like prison, if you will, a lockdown, and I'd rather pull out my eyebrows than have employees, if you know what I mean. So it required a lot of my time. I just haven't been doing as much fishing and kayaking and riding my motorcycle and shooting and golfing and everything as I'd like to. So another opportunity popped up that sounds like it can really get me back to basics and back to the wilderness, back to nature. And
I guess you're not going to go back to being a city employee, right?
well, of course not. 2 years after I left, I was asked that question at least a dozen or two times that, if they tripled my salary and promised me the moon, the answer would still be absolutely not. I loved the job and I loved the work, but things took a turn and it felt less like family. And, because back in the 90s, we had a really cohesive group and everyone was happy and the town was running so efficiently. And I don't know, things were great. And then things changed and it became not Nederland anymore, if you will. So I have no interest in working for any government ever again after that experience.
So what's next for Tim?
Oh, man, I'm moving on and I feel like the grass is greener on the other side at this moment. And my biggest fear is, looking over my shoulder and saying goodbye to all my hundreds of wonderful friends. But the fact is, with my new life, I'll be able to travel a lot. So don't be surprised if someday, somewhere, in some bar, you look up and there's Tim Underwood having a shot and a beer.
Awesome.
So definitely something still cool, but travel is going to play a part here as well.
I'm closing on 40 acres way up north in the North Woods near the Canadian border. I'm going to be creating a disc golf course and putting little cabins on there, renting them out on Hip Camp. And between North Dakota and, the Upper Peninsula, it's up in there, near Canada. I visited there back in the 2000s and took a 2-week canoe trip up there and fell in love with the place. There's nothing like waking up on a little island in the middle of this lake and having fresh blueberries right off the bush, It was 82 degrees here in Rollinsville today, and it was 62 up there. So you see where I'm going. And then when the temperature dips to, old man winter is coming up there in November, I'll be taking my camper out to Victoria Island, British Columbia, and visiting my 4 grandchildren who live there on the island and spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with them. And then about the first or second week of January, I'll just meander down the California coast, camping out and hanging out, and end up in Texas where I'll park my camper at my buddy's house, fly over from Houston into Cancun where I'll sit in a hammock with a fruity drink for 3 or 4 months there. Then hang out and see old friends, But most in the winter, I'm going to be kicking seashells and hunting for Spanish doubloons on the beach,
And here's what's left for the Mineshaft Mercantile.
I'm going to have a major closeout sale on my business. I've collected a lot of things over the last 10 years. I've already started staging for a major yard sale. I'm taking a trip up there day after tomorrow, and I'll be back on the 23rd. But from the 23rd or 24th of June until July 31st, I'm going to be getting rid of everything here and at my cabin. So I'm going to be having massive yard sales and massive discounts, and everything I've got's got to go. So if you want to stick a little note in there about that, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that.
Thanks, Tim, for your service to the town, the memories, and who you are.
Oh, I'd say that's pretty much it. I mean, I've met thousands of people, and now I have even hundreds more fans and friends that come from far and wide to just say hello, because that's been the most fun about it. But truth is, it doesn't make a whole lot of money, and it is lockdown. It just doesn't pay enough for me to be locked down like that. I got to get out in the wide open spaces and do more of those things that I really love.
To the news desk.
The Gilpin County Democrats hold meetings on the fourth Thursday of every month from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The June meeting will be held in person at 466 Coyote Circle in Black Hawk.
Free COVID tests are available at the Nederland Community Center every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. No appointment or ID is required.
Al-Anon meetings start at 7 p.m. Thursday, June 24th at St. Paul's Episcopal Church at 224 East 1st High Street in Central City. This is next to the Gilpin County Museum. This is an open meeting for friends and family of alcoholics.
Peak to Peak, musicians and artists, we're looking for you. Would you like a feature story in the Mountaineer? We cover all news of the Peak to Peak, including business and artist profiles. We also offer features on our podcast, website, and social media. Right now, these are all completed through email with our journalist. When things open back up completely, it will be in person. If interested, email publisher1977@gmail.com to get on the list for upcoming editions and segments.
The Mountaineer has ad packets for print, social media, online, and podcast promotions. Email mountaineeradvertising@gmail.com for info on a marketing plan for all of your business needs.
The Levitt Street Market is now open in Central City every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The market has several vendors offering fresh produce, pottery, jams, and jellies, JKQ, barbecue, and more. Stop by Central City to check it out.
Brightwood Music in Nederland will restring and repair your favorite stringed instrument. Brightwood Music also carries many lines of all your favorite mandolins, violins, guitars, cellos, mountain dulcimers, basses, and bouzouki's. Brightwood Music is a family-owned and operated business, and it's been a Netherlands staple for more than a decade. Find Brightwood at 20 East Lakeview Drive, or give them a call at 303-258-8863. Find them on Facebook at Brightwood Music.
Dango Rose. He's on sabbatical, and he's busy playing some of everyone's favorite music. Safe travels, Dango.
Axe and Snacks, formerly Gilpin Saws and Slaws, has come out of the pandemic in the mountains strong and ready to face down what looks like an early wildfire season. The first event will be held Saturday, June 19th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Join the group to help cut, pile, and haul slash from a property in the Dory Hill area. This event not only helps mitigate the wildfire potential, but resulting logs will be processed into firewood for Gilpin families in need of fuel for winter. For more information on how to sign up, grab a copy of The Mountaineer or visit The Mountaineer, that's THEMTNEAR.com for more.
Gilpin County is soliciting letters of interest to serve on the Gilpin County Planning Commission to review land use and land subdivision issues at monthly meetings. There is one position available. The term will end on December 31st, 2021. There is an option to request appointment to a new 3-year term beginning January of 2022. All members must reside in Gilpin County. Letters must be received by July 1st, 2021. For more information, please contact Deputy Clerk Sharon Kate at 303-582-5214 or email scate@gilpincounty.org.
The Nederland Mining Museum is now open. The museum offers a glimpse into the world of hard rock mining days in Boulder County. Indoor and outdoor displays of trams, ore carts, engines, historic photographs, and rare mining claim maps show how miners lived, and, of course, how hard rock mining played a part in Colorado's history. Hours are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 200 North Bridge Street in Ned. Give 303-258-7332 a call during museum hours, or contact Cheryl Kippen at SKIPPEN at bouldercounty.org. For more, visit bouldercountyopenSpace.org/museums.
And that's all for this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. All editions of the Mountaineer Podcast are available on our website at www.themountaineer.com. Pick
up this week's edition of the Mountaineer in print.
And go online to www.themtnear.com to catch up on more local news. That's themountaineer.com. I'm Cynthia Davis.
And I'm Art DeVitalis. Until next time, thank you for listening.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local peak-to-peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.